The properties that makes it very appealing is the durability of it.
Yeah.
So why there's a shift busy happening in the market towards porcelain for countertops is because people want marble looks, but marble tends to be porous and so it can stain. But most people want to not worry about the maintenance of the product too much, and that's where porcelain comes in. So you can get that beautiful aesthetic look of marble, but you don't have to worry so much about the maintenance of it. With porcelain you just get, this is the look that you're always going to get. It's consistent throughout. If we order it now and we order that same slab in a year's time, it's going to look exactly the same. They would think this is just a tile because they hear porcelain and then that's connected to tile. The large slabs are manufactured specifically for countertops, so it goes through a whole process to fall in the slabs category. So you can't put a pot directly on your engineered stone from the stove because of the resin. It's going to leave a mark, and with the porcelain, all of those limitations are not a limitation because you get a big selection and you don't have the porosity, and it's heat resistant as well.
And what's very evident to me now is between this and the engineered stone is that the clarity of the veins and the textures and the clarity is it looks like a real stone. With engineered stone, quartz and Caesar, it's very poor clarity. Like your veins are quite detailed. It looks like a real stone. With engineered tops, it's like quite blurry, and it's just it's not nice.
Yeah, Level would be the brand which imported from Italy. They have been doing this since 1962. So that it's been a while, and they always try to improve, and the latest technology. This is also why you start to see more textures coming out in porcelain. In the beginning that was not a thing. It was just smooth. You had the matte and you had polished. Now they're actually adding 3D effects to it, and that's all technology evolving. So, but they really focus on creating that depth in the patterns, because essentially their whole goal is to, when you look at a slab, it must look as close to the real natural stone as possible.
I agree.
So Cape Town is very much earthy colors and texture. So the more texture you can give them, like even here, that texture that's added there, Cape Town would love that. Whereas Joburg being, don't want to generalize, but Joburg tends to be a little bit more glossy. I don't want to say flashy, but they're less scared to have something more bold and something that pops. So the polished actually does very well in Joburg, whereas in Cape Town they really love textures. Gold is really popular at the moment.
The gold tinges and
anything with gold or brown veining in it.
Natural earthy colors.
It's the earthy color.
Seeing it in the way people clad, the way they do their pool area and stuff like that. Everyone's leaning towards that earthy, naturally colored, like Bali style.
It's actually very interesting because I think from the research that we did in the beginning, we always found that 6 mil for floors or claddings, that's usually where people sell the most, and then 12 mil is a smaller portion. But with us, actually, we found that 12 mil is doing very well. So maybe that's also the market that's shifting towards being more open, using porcelain for countertops. But of course the 6 mil also does well. With regards to colors, definitely the gold, the brown veining, the earthy colors, the travertines right at the end, which we'll get to in a bit. They're making a massive comeback at the moment. So we all know 20 years ago travertine was massive, the actual travertine, and then it kind of faded out, and now it's making a comeback as porcelain because you don't have the worry about the porousness.
Bathrooms, kitchens, floors, outdoor entertainment areas. Because you've got some options. You've got polished, you've got the matte, you've got the the textured one, the like leathered look, or what is it? Hammered.
Like a bush hammered effect.
Yeah. So we've got options. We can go back to the Roman times with the travertine. We can do so much. Okay, so the 6mm you can also use on floors.
Correct.
Oh wow, okay, that's awesome. So you can have like large format tiles. Well,
Yeah.
really large.
Creates a nice seamless effect.
Yeah. And so people are after they want to do small grout lines like 2mm, 1mm, but some tiles don't allow that.
Yeah.
So with this big format, I think it'll suit a lot more people.
Someone needs to be specialized. So a fabricator would be able to do it, but even more so a specialized tiler. So if, for example, a tiler is used to tiling with 600 by 600 sizes, it's a little bit tricky when it comes to this size that you're all of a sudden working with. Just physically the handling of the slab, so the way you carry it and how you go about turning it, just a bit more careful approach. So that's one thing that I'll point out. And then with regards to the actual application, you've got floors, you've got wall cladding, and then you've got staircases as well. That has been done a few times with our products. And
so just basic normal tile adhesive, porcelain tile adhesive.
Porcelain tile
like
adhesive. We do like to get very involved in projects.
Right.
So the more we are allowed to be involved, the more we'll look at that specific application, and then we'll suggest which adhesives would work best for that application, because they do differ depending on what they clad it onto. So if it's concrete, it's a specific adhesive. If it's steel, something else. If it's wood, another one. So we like to be involved.
So here's the big question. I think what clients want to know: is it cheaper than marble? Is it cheaper than granite? Where does it fare?
Yeah, so that's definitely not just a yes/no answer.
Okay.
Of course.
Of
Which is usually what people would like to hear, just something short and sweet. But it is, what I can say, on average, when compared to marble, it actually is either in line on cost, or actually most of the times a little bit more cost effective.
Okay.
You do get entry-level marbles that will cost less. But when you're looking, the more exotic you go with the color, the more it's more scarce, so it becomes more expensive.
Yeah, your onyx and all those.
Onyx colors. So, for example, if we're looking at this one, Macchia Vecchia, which is a marble name.
Yes.
This natural stone, the marble, will cost about 5 times the price of this one. And that's just because it's super scarce. It's very difficult to find in the world. So compared to granite, granite I think would, in most cases, marble tends to be a little bit more because of those exotic colors. So granite would be a little bit less.
So granite's quite, because I think it's more accessible around the world. So it's and like I say, it's not exotic, it's sort of your plain colors.
Plainer colors, yeah. So it really, the pricing with natural stone, at least, is very much determined by the color that you're looking at. If you're looking at something that's very subtle or plain, it's probably going to cost less than porcelain. If you're looking at something very elaborate or unique, then it's probably going to shift towards being more on the expensive side.
And I think with their add-on service of sort of guiding through the process with fabricators and sort of being on the project, that gives everyone a bit of peace of mind, because they're the professionals. So I don't think there's no hindrance for me not to suggest or sort of promote this product. For our latest project, we're actually looking at sort of granite tiling, but now just being here in like the last 20 minutes, I've already been calculating and thinking like how I can use maybe a granite look porcelain tile through the house and then solve that issue, and large format. And then obviously kitchen counters, wall cladding in the bathrooms, bathroom tops. That would be, your sort of, what do you call it, the basins? Integrated basins, where it's all one.
Travertine is one of those where, specifically with floors, it's actually, people are very easy to just order 1,000 square meters top. So whereas
Oh,
you know, something more bold, like an Irish green, for example. You
Just
know,
a feature,
you use it
yeah,
for
there.
a feature.
Yeah.
But a look like this, it's very subtle, and you know, it's very easy to kind of decide, okay, I'm just going to do this throughout my whole house on the floors,
Yeah, yeah.
or even the walls. So
Tell me, that's a tile cutter cut it as normal, like a normal tile cutter. Obviously, this is a bigger tile, but I mean the
Yeah.
same Sigma tile cutter.
yeah, so it's a good question, important question,
Yeah.
because when it comes to 6mm, you can use a normal tile cutter.
Yeah.
And the main reason is because the 6mm arrive in the country already rectified,
Right.
which just means tension cuts has already been done, so
Yeah.
there's no tension in the slab,
Okay.
so they can literally just put it on the bed and do the cutting. With 12mm, it's a little bit different. They come unrectified, which means that as the slab's standing here, it still has tension in it because it has been baked. When they manufacture it, they bake it at 1,200 degrees. So it's got tension in it, of course, because of that baking. That's why the fabricator needs to get involved with diamond blades, certain speeds.
yeah, and know-how.
Because they need to do tension cuts, then that releases, and then they can start cutting the panels.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's a bit of a process.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
The thing to know is that you guys, there are suppliers and only fabricators are allowed to buy. But customers can obviously come in, shop around, but the fabricator needs to sort of make the purchase, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, so essentially the general process is clients or architects or designers would come here to do the selection.
Yeah.
And then we always suggest that someone come and view the slab, because little samples, they just don't do justice.
Yeah.
You cannot visualize what that's going to look like. So we suggest they come here, we help them with the whole selection process and do's and don'ts, considerations, and then we actually, like mentioned before, because we like to get involved, we would actually go a step further and help to source the quotes from fabricators that we know kind of fit with that project.
okay.
So if it's very high
It has
end,
a
very
skill.
technical, there's a certain list. And if it's more budget conscious project, or
Yeah.
you know, then we'll go in another direction.
Okay.
And
So you
but
can
we
help
get
in that
involved with
regard
that as
too.
well.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, but the 6mm, I'll also just say, 6mm, because it's classified as a large tile, it can be purchased directly.
Okay.
So you can go through the fabricator if you want.
And it's been detention.
Detention, yeah. So yeah, they can purchase it directly, but of course if you work through a fabricator, that means they take responsibility. So if something happens, they need to replace it.
Gotcha.
If someone purchases directly, that's on them. We've had some crazy requests,
Okay.
of course. I mean, I can't generalize, but I think architects in general do like to test limits. I'm all for. I love, you know, let's test the boundaries, and also technology evolves, so why not ask? Maybe
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can be done. But what we get most that's asked is curves. Curves is quite popular, and then of course the fluting as
Yeah.
well.
So this can be fluted.
It can be fluted, but why people would then generally consider marble more often is because this is a print.
Correct. So it's
When
on
you
your
flute
surface.
it,
Yeah,
you lose the print.
Got you.
So on some colors that's not so much an issue, it's not that visible, but
Yeah.
on a very elaborate color, you'll see that looks a bit odd.
Yeah, then you sort of see the raw material.
With polished porcelain slabs, it's almost like a mirror effect. You get a lot of reflectiveness. So with the lighter color, it's a little bit less, but then if we look here, it's almost like a mirror. I can fix my hair in this slab. So, so that's something to keep in mind when looking at an area like a bathroom cladding. People like that popping, so there it might be applicable, but then sometimes in kitchens, people don't want so much reflectiveness, and then they would steer to the textures.
Yeah. I think to sum that up is basically there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
There's, if you're not a shiny person, there's mats, there's everything. So that's the beauty of it. There's so many options just looking around.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We've got over 40 different colors that we keep in stock. So we originally started in Joburg. So Joburg keeps most of the stock, and then Cape Town basically pulls the stock as we need it. Just try and educate them. If either it's going to be a fit or it's not going to be a fit, and that's fine. But the more people we can educate of the properties of porcelain and the fact that you've got so little limitations where it can be used, that's a big thing. It took a long time from natural stone when engineered stone or quartz came out. That shift took long because people saw, oh, now it went from 30 to 20 mil, and it was like, what, this is strange. And the same thing's happening now with porcelain. It's been in the country for about 10 years now, and we can see that it's picking up, but the more we can educate people, the better they will understand.
More confidence, right? More buying confidence. So I think when people look at the slick, very expensive looking kitchens with a thin, streamlined tops, this is what you're looking at. So if you want that look, this is what you need to get.
And even, I mean, it's good that you bring that up, because that is another thing that we get asked a lot, is someone would look at the edge and either they love the color that they see, but either they just don't want the thin look, it's not for everyone, or they have a problem with the pattern stopping, not going down the edge. So what we then suggest to them is that you just do a little miter build up. So that's just a 45-degree join, so you don't see the join, and then you build it up to 50 or 30 or whatever you want, and you get that thicker look.
Correct. So, and you can basically wrap the pattern, cut it there, wrap it around, miter it, and then you've got a 50 mil marble top look.
It's a premium product, and when it's being installed, it's important to not rush anything. It's a lot of attention to detail that's required. I've been to Europe and we see it's just a bit of a slower process, like really don't rush anything. In South Africa we tend to be a little bit faster and rushing, but to slow down, just handle it with care. A few of us here come from the fabrication side, because when it comes to the technical stuff, we're not just supplying a product, we can actually help you with understanding the technical side of it through to installation. So if we pick up anything that maybe someone wants to do a 500mm overhang on the island, we would pick it up immediately and we would say, guys, 300 is max. You're not supposed to, if you want to go 500, you need a bigger support structure. Things like, it's small things, but it can lead to big mistakes.
It's a brand new slab that's come in. We're yet to launch it, and it gives the impression that it's backlit. So natural onyx, obviously you can, a backlight, but with porcelain you photographed an actual slab backlit and reproduced that. The detail in there is quite incredible.
That's the exact same stuff.
Some of the other finishes that we've spoken about. So in our stone range, we've got new slabs that are actually what you could consider full body, because it goes through on the side too. And if you feel this is the Pietra de Vals, which is the slab on the wall there.
I like it.
You can feel all of that texture in there.
Tell me the slab, do the veins differ? Let's say we go with the Kolkata black. Do the veins differ, or is every slab the same vein?
Every slab is the same, but with 12 mil we do get an A and a B. So that's just to create a mirror image. So that's if you want to do a book match feature or something like that. With the 6 mil thickness, you actually get more. You get 4, 5, or 6 different prints, and that's to kind of create a continuous flow.
That's because 6 mil is used for wall cladding. Right. So it gives you sort of, like I said, a continuous vein, which is
just so it doesn't look like copy paste.
That would be the worst.